How's it going, Sha?
I need a soft day.
Oh yeah, you do?
Yeah. Yeah, I need today I decided today has to be a soft day.
Okay,
Um, Not that my days are hard or even hard in comparison to what others are going through.
right.
Um, but they were legit painful and like my bones hurt.
Oh,
Oh, it's fine. Everyone, with or without a broken bone, everybody's bones are gonna hurt
yeah.
one day. So just there's something to look forward to. But it was just I woke up today and I was like, nah, man, hoodie. You know what I mean? And it's I don't even have to go. I don't have to go anywhere today.
Right.
So I could just be in my normal loungewear of a tank top and leg warmers and one compression sock. You know what I mean? Now, I could
Okay.
just do that. But today I was like, no, I need to be wrapped up in fleece. I'm not listening to anyone who yells.
Okay.
So no yelling.
Okay.
And I mean, I've already listened to John Oliver, but he really, he's fairly quiet
Yo,
in
Sha.
consideration. Yes.
Real talk. I think you stumbled into something here.
How so?
Have you heard of 75 hard?
No, what's 75 hard?
So 75 hard is like this. It's one of the like latest workout things that's like popping, but it's essentially it's supposed to be a transformative period of your life where for
Okay.
75 days you
Mhm.
follow strict rules, and if you break any of the rules you have to
Mhm.
restart it. So
Ugh.
the rules are you do 2 workouts a day. One of them
I'm
has to
already
be
out. I'm already out.
shots at it there quick.
Okay, go ahead. 2
So
workouts a
it's two
day.
workouts a day. One of them has to be outdoors, right?
Okay.
um,
Uh-huh.
you have to follow a diet, but you get to pick whichever one it is.
Mhm.
I believe you have to journal.
Okay.
You have to drink a gallon of water, and I don't know if it's journal or like reading. I think it's like reading 10 pages, and then
Okay.
the last one is you have to take a progress picture every day for the 75 days,
Ugh.
right? But you might have stumbled on like 30 days easy or 30 days soft. Yo, low key, that could be a thing, Sha.
Um, I dare say if you are considering doing 75 hard, you're already living 30 soft.
Yo,
Yeah,
it could be a thing. Like, yo, you need a vacation. You working too hard. You did 75 hard twice. Come do 30 soft.
I feel like anytime that you are adding something to cart in the middle of the night, you're in the middle of your 30 soft. You're already doing it. It's a cumulative 30s.
Okay,
It's a
okay.
few hours, but trust me, you're gonna get that 30 days soft. You're gonna get it. I mean, if you really work hard, you could probably get it done in like 15, 16 days. You stick with me. I'm gonna show you how to really streamline it and get all 30 into 2.5 weeks.
Oh man, 30 soft created. Shalewa Sharpe. Nah, man.
Oh man, there's
It could be a
always
brand.
I mean, look, I am struggling right now with not just how to get started, but the idea that I have to do some sort of organized exercise,
Mm,
right? And I'm not a very good self-starter. Full stop. End of sentence. I'm not a very good self-starter. But I have self-started trying to exercise more times than really anyone could count. It
okay,
feels like every week is a new leaf, right? Every Monday I'm turning over a new leaf. And
okay.
um and so I am now like I got to pay someone to come and help me out, I think is what I need someone to, like, show me what to do. Like,
Okay.
let me tell them what I want, what I'm aiming for, which is not walk like an old lady. I don't wanna, because I could preemptively just, like, curve into a question mark and
Right.
just be that, and I don't want to be that, but now it's harder to fight that urge than ever. It only gets
Right.
harder as you get older. So I need to tell someone, "Hey, I'm trying not to be a walking question mark." Um, and if I guess I could be an exclamation point with boobs, then that's fine.
Great. Oh yeah.
And, and then them go, "Alright, well, I guess to do that, you should do this, this, and this on these machines. W Pick this up a certain number of times. Kick
Oh
it this
yeah.
can for however many minutes." And then drag me out, for the first month to do it, and then keep checking on me. Because I think after a month of being forced to do it, I will then be like, "Okay, this is, I think, a part of whatever my life is right now."
Right.
And to help me when I do fall off, because I will fall off. It is why I keep turning over leaves every Monday. So
Mm.
so I am now just like, "Oh, I gotta do that." And just the idea of that has sent me into a spiral of like, "Oh, Lord." So so I understand the appeal of a 75 hard.
Yeah.
I get it. All of that feels like a lot. Like, I don't know if, depending on what your goal is, I don't know if you need to do that much of that.
Agreed.
2 workouts?
Yeah.
1 outside? That feels like a lot. I mean, depending on how your life is, if your life is basically I lay down, and then I sit up, and then I scoot into a car, and I sit there, and then I go to a desk, and I sit there, and then I sit on my way home, and then go home and sit until it's time for me to lay down again.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, a workout for sure. I don't know if
Right.
it needs to be outside,
I feel you.
you know, or, you a workout and a walk. Would that,
I
maybe
think
try
that
'em.
would count as the two for
You think?
someone going that for someone starting from the starting point you're saying, I think that would count as the two.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like when you put in these, I mean, I know that some people actually, there are lots of people who respond positively to this kind of thing, and this thing
Yeah.
could change their life, and it is sort of the type of thing I am having to invite into my life, and I,
Right.
as you can tell, am not thrilled. But, but, that just, I mean, I think maybe it's just all the stuff around 75 hard. Why does it have to sound like a classic rock station? You know? And they're
I
all just like P90X or whatever, you know what I mean? It's all just letters and numbers just thrown at you, and someone aggressively, like, kicking to the side of Tybo. Like, everything just sounds like that. Ugh.
I feel you on this immensely as someone who has struggled to do anything health adjacent.
Mhm.
It is the one thing that, like, for whatever, I feel like I'm pretty disciplined in every other aspect of my life but that. Um, and but in turn, all of my non-disciplined stuff relates to my health.
Right.
So I'm trying to figure out ways, uh, and I've come to a similar conclusion as you. Um, Mainly because I'm trying to analyze what I do well and
Mhm.
when it goes well,
Mm.
and I'm noticing that for the most part, the things I stick to, because I think I am good at getting things done, but I like being held accountable by my peers. So
Right.
I like projects. That's why I like the pod. I
Mhm.
feel accountable to you. You know
Mm.
what I mean? I like doing stuff where, like, there's a team aspect of it. So I'm trying to figure out, like, some people here. I'm debating on if I want to bother my sister because she works out every day.
Mm.
If I could be like, yo, let me like rock with you in the mornings. So that there's like if I don't show up, somebody gonna be calling me type aspect of it. And in turn, little by little, I could be that for them as well.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where it's not just them like taking on an extra thing, but I think being in the group helps.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the being held accountable part, absolutely, I see that, but I think I wanna do that with a stranger
Okay.
because, I will be the weak link, and I will let someone down, and it's partially why I'm reluctant to do things with people is because I'm like, I'm no great shakes. So, yeah, I'd much rather I'll pay you to get because like, so say that you think, "All right, I'll do this with my sister," right?
Right.
She works out. So, you're doing great, and for the first week and a half, you're doing fantastic, and then something happens, you're not able to do it, and then it's just a little bit tougher, and now your sister's teasing you because you never finish what you start.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, mm-mm. I don't want that.
That's exactly what I want.
No, that will just make me mad and not want to continue. I don't
Ah,
wanna have the argument. I don't want someone who has knows how to push my buttons on a level outside of what I need pushed in order to go.
gotcha.
Do you know what I mean? Like a sibling or a family member or a close friend has access to too many buttons of mine that they could push.
Well, there has to be like a respect aspect too of like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and they don't know how to family don't know how to respect you. Family don't respect you for shit. So, no, let me cut somebody a check, and we have an agreed upon, "Here's the respect."
I'm paying you $75 an hour for respect.
For
Okay.
respect, and I give you permission to come into my house and pull me out of it, but don't come into my house and go, "Girl, you still" no, that's not what I paid you for. I paid you to grab my arms and pull me out, not to then also pass judgment on where I live, and that's what family will do, and we ain't doing that. So I'll come up off some money in order to do the other thing. I
Dirty
don't know.
soft.
Yeah, yeah, soft. But, the soft thing is just I'll just send you an email, "Hey, just be chill, maybe. Just try to be chill." Put on something soft. If you feel like walking around wrapped in your blanket like a wayward king, like Depeche Mode in the "Enjoy the Silence" video, then do that.
Have you
Shout
started
out to
looking for a workout person?
No, I don't even know the first place to do that. How do you even do that?
That's a good question. Bless
Pardon.
you. Yeah, like I'm curious if you just like put it into the ether, like hey, I'm looking for a trainer and I'm here in Bushwick. Bless you.
Sorry, I got cat stuff all over the place.
Nah,
Hair.
nah.
It's a new corner, and this I think was a Lucinda corner. So there's a lot of Lucinda in this corner. Um,
But
yeah,
yeah,
I
like
I
yeah, I don't know if like you put out like you're looking for a trainer or maybe you put out a general interest like hey, I'm looking uh start, parkouring or whatever you're,
right, yeah.
you
I
know?
mean, I guess I could ask some people, like, if there's anyone that they've used, but the
Yeah.
people can't be too fit.
Okay. Okay.
If they got you flipping over a tire,
That's not
mm,
you.
mm-mm. Did you have someone who just, made you maybe jump a little rope?
Okay.
Is that although I don't even think I can jump.
Yeah, I
That's
know
the
I
other
can't jump
thing.
rope. I've tried. I could jump, but I've never learned how to jump rope.
I don't think I'm at the jump rope place right now. I still can't firmly stand on my toes. That's the other thing is that, because I'm still trying to get it together from the ankle, uh, which, will, I have heard, take a while. Like,
Right,
I
right.
know it's been a year and a half, but this is, a year's project
Yeah.
of, like, getting it close to whatever, and that's, um, part of the thing is that, alright, well, I do wanna heal from that in a way where it's it's more of like, okay, I can do kind of what I was doing before and not like, "Oh, that was the first domino." I don't want this broken ankle to be the first domino. So, that's kind of also coloring what I like, it's not just we're beyond, trying to lose weight. Nah, that's over. Now, I
Okay.
just don't want things to shatter. How do I make things a little stronger? So so there's that.
It's funny you mentioned this today in particular because like yesterday was I don't know, it felt like a landmark day for me in terms of like where I am and in terms of like physical.
Mhm.
I went to Aiden's track meet,
Okay.
he tried a new race.
Alright.
They put him on the 100 meters.
Okay.
So he lost significant lost to everybody.
Okay.
But to be clear,
Mhm.
it was really good because he was the only freshman running. Everyone else were juniors and seniors from the other schools.
Right.
So he should lose. Like these are like literally like running against men. Uh,
Right. He's running
so
against men, still his first time doing stuff.
yeah,
Like
and his first time on that run, everything
right.
like he was completely new. But the coach had noticed that he does really well in the sprints during practice. You tried him out, and he actually showed a lot of potential. People were impressed. They high fived him. She was really hyped. Um, he's is the first time in practice he was running in shorts. He usually runs in longer pants because we're like in that transition time for the first
Right.
part of the season where it's cold. So
Mhm.
I was like, "Yo, homie, getting like defined, like he getting diesel, you know."
Right.
His leg game looked crazy. I was,
Uh-huh.
and I know he ain't lifting anything, just strictly from running. He is not doing any type of extra work.
Right.
There's no lifting session at all. And I
Mhm.
have the weights. I know because they got dust on them.
Yes.
They did. They are right next to his bedroom, untouched. Okay. So me and Gabby are talking about like, oh, that's what's up. Like he's getting diesel, whatever. And then like towards the end of the night, we going to bed, and I was like, I don't know why I felt like I needed to stretch,
Mhm.
and I stretched my right hamstring, my right thigh. So they're like
Mhm.
the one where you like you grab your foot behind your back to stretch your
Yes.
thigh while you're standing.
Yeah.
I don't think my thigh has ever been tighter in my life. Like I stood there for like legit maybe 2 minutes.
Mhm.
The same tightness as if I started right there. Like it
Okay.
never got looser.
Mhm.
The whole time I'm holding it, and I'm like, did I just like hurt my leg from watching someone exercise for 2 hours? Like, I didn't, what's happening here? Like, it's like this is how it work. Like, for him to run fast, he needs to absorb all of my power.
Okay.
You know, but yeah, it was trippy. Like, I was like, yo, this is crazy. I got to start working out because
Mhm.
I can't be exhausted. And the thing is, I didn't even stand. I sat on the rock the whole track meet. There
Of
was a
course.
there was a huge rock. I remember Michaela was mad because she was like, "We don't got chairs," and I was like, "There's chairs, but they're in the sun. This rock is in the shade."
Mhm.
So I was the only person with Michaela sit on his rock.
Right.
I was like, I got a great view, opposite side of the track. So I didn't even walk into the whole track either. I walked 20 feet into the
Were you
field.
there? It sounds like you
Well, I did the least possible to be at this field. I walked in, there was a big ass rock 20 feet past the door. I
Okay.
sat there and I watched from a distance all these races. Like I'm so sincere. I never made it across the field. And
Okay.
like when I tell you my legs were like, yo, Gastor, we gotta slow down. And, and I'm like, I didn't do nothing. I did nothing. I sat 20 feet into this park
Okay.
and I was done physically,
Oh, man.
So dirty soft sounds like a good idea to me. Real
You
talk.
still gotta touch your toes. I'll stick this in, if you can wait, can you touch your toes?
No, I could touch ankle.
Oh, that's actually,
Yeah. I could touch
pretty
I
good.
check pretty often. Like I could touch ankle. I can't do toe.
Okay, yeah, some people can't, get down to toes, and so, yeah, so now I know not to take that for granted. I just was like, "Everybody can touch their toes, right?
Nah,
We've been doing that since we were 3, 4, 5." No, it turns out, no.
No, no, no. I lost it. That's why I know I could do ankle. I've been getting it back. I've been
Okay,
working on the ankle on the toe stretch. I want to get that by the end of the year again.
okay.
I'm keeping my cartwheel. I've been greedy
Right.
with that. I've done a cartwheel now weekly, which is not the norm. Like this year, I've been like, nah, cartwheels all the time. We on deck.
Oh, yeah? Oh, we
Real
up to
talk.
weekly? A weekly
Yeah, like I was
cartwheel?
like, I can't get sloppy out here. I gotta make
Yeah.
sure.
So, you see, this is what I mean, like, I'm trying to work back towards well, not cartwheel, I've never been able to do a cartwheel, but I know I look a little bit like, "Is she gonna fall?" When I walk a little, and part of that is it until I'm warmed up and then I can look normal, but
Right.
I'm inside, I'm like, "Ow, ooh, ow, 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 ow." So, so there's that, and, yeah, I have to get it together. You gotta concentrate on your hips,
Yeah.
because those things will go out on you, and once you get a bad hip, you can just I mean, just it's done. It feels
No.
like everything just feels like it's done. Once you get a hangnail, you're done. You know what I mean?
Real
Like,
talk.
everything just feels like it's all over. And
And
so
that,
I'm trying to get out of that mindset. And so I guess I just need someone who is, understanding, yet forceful.
well, I believe in it. I think you can do it. The most humbling thing I've been doing
Mhm.
has been the squat. And I'm not
Oh.
talking about like up and downs like for exercise. I'm
Mhm.
doing the squat where like you're supposed to sit there and like read and like chill like as a resting position.
Are you up against a wall doing that one?
I'm holding on to some, yeah, like just because I can't do it alone.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get comfortable. Eventually I want to just be able to like just squat and chill.
Wait, you mean, like, squat all the way down?
Yeah, like
Like
I've
you're
seen like culturally, like I know in like Asia, a lot
a
of people do it to
yes.
like relax. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
like you're supposed to be able to do that forever. And
Right.
we lose it because we sit on chairs.
Yeah, and
So
I never had it because my knees have been bad since I was in high school.
yeah, we gotta get you
So,
with
I'm
the
never if I am down like that, I'm attached to ropes, someone's gotta be around, or I'm just gonna go to the ground.
real talk,
I'll
yo.
just go all the way and just sit on the ground and then get up from there. But, I mean, the thing that I do that or well, I do still that a lot of people don't is sit cross-legged.
Oh,
That is, to me, a comfortable position. I like sitting cross-legged, but, that I still gotta open up my hips a little bit more in order to do it than before, and now it's laying the ankle the right way. It's a little tougher than it used to be, but it is a comfort. But all of my comfortable, like, positions are me, like, all twisted up. I'm not very loose, so I have to figure out how to get loose and then get twisted up in a healthier way. I don't know, and
hell
still
yeah.
be able to stretch. And I need someone who's gonna help me do that. Yeah, and
Do you did you ever have to stand up from that position? I remember in gym class that was one of the tests.
oh, what, getting up from a cross-legged
Yeah,
position?
with no hands.
Yes, I mean, that was a test in ballet class, I think, was,
Yeah.
one of the first things was how you cross your leg and then kinda propel up. I mean, I can't do it now. There's a lot more grappling now, but it was better than it once was, although, like, it was bad, and then it got better, and then my ankle, and now it's back to, ugh. Maybe you just stay down there. But yeah, I did used to be able to do that, of being able to get up with no hands.
See, I'm excited for you to get this trainer. I think
Are
you're gonna be
you?
yeah, real talk. You want me to come
I
back?
don't know how to do it just because 'cause I'm also it just feels like in New York, everyone I mean, thank goodness I'm not in LA where everyone is also beautiful. If I could find, like, some gargoyle who's gonna help me, that would be nice. But I
I
just
mean,
I
I'm
don't want
sure
anyone to
there's
laugh at me, that's all.
some empathetic struggling comedian that's a trainer.
Ugh, that's the worst. What? Who's gonna be riffing the whole time? No, I need you to be I don't want you to understand humor.
Okay.
I
There's
mean,
the lady that's been training like everybody at the cellar.
who's been training everyone at the
There's
well,
a trainer over there that's like she's transformed a few different people. I'll send you the info. But for real.
No, I feel like you need to be passed at the cellar. Do you understand what I mean? Like, if I'm not funny enough for an old girl at the cellar, I'm probably not gonna be good enough for their little trainer either. There was a boxing place that was, like, a block away from my job, and
Okay.
I know there was someone there who maybe used to be a comic or something, but she would take on, other comics to like, for boxing, and I saw, like, Caitlin Peluffo and Shane Torres, like, I'd run
Yeah.
into them over there because it literally was a block from my job. But
Yeah.
that boxing place closed because 'cause they're gonna sell the building.
Oh, that
So,
hurt.
who knows, who knows? But, I mean, like, I don't yeah, I mm-mm. I don't know. I don't know, I'll figure something out. I just have to I don't know. What do I have to go to Craigslist? That seems sketchy.
Yeah, nah,
Do
that
I
doesn't
have
seem right.
to is
I,
that a thing that TaskRabbits do?
I mean, they can't. Low key, that's the real talk. More people, if you want to get in shape, should just sign up for TaskRabbit jobs. You'll get $15 an hour and you'll get a workout. Just sign up to move somebody's shit.
Yeah, I mean, honestly.
Real talk. You'll get paid while you're doing it, and like you'll actually get a workout.
Yeah, but what happens if you're not, like, good at it? Have you ever heard Rob Hayes's, jokes about being a mover,
Mm-mm.
um, and finding out that he's not he's not good at it?
I love Rob.
That
Rob is
was
dope.
yeah, oh, man, so funny,
I
but
gotta check. I was just on a Rob Hayes rabbit hole actually this week.
oh, okay.
Real talk. He's dope.
Everyone out there, you should check out Rob Hayes, that's Haze, ATL's finest. One of
Real talk.
ATL's finest, but, yeah, it's so funny to hear him talk about that because I was like, "Yeah, yeah, that what happens then when you can't."
You get a bad rating.
Yeah, because it seems like it's such a mindless all you gotta do is just move stuff, just pick up stuff and move it, and then you get there and it's like, "Oh, I can't pick up stuff." That's 60% of the job is the
Real
picking up.
talk.
I can drop it, but can I pick it up? Like, huh.
There's a couple of moving companies that are essentially just a bunch of comedians that are in New York.
Right.
And I've during like slower times, I've told them like, hey, I'm available
Mhm.
and I've come out to help. And listen, I'm there. After we done, I apologize every time. I was like, I was not 1/3 of this team. Uh
Yeah, I
I
was
know there's
really
three
hindering more than helping.
real talk. I know there's three of us here. I did not bring my third. My fault. Real talk. We emptied out this apartment. The wheat is very heavily weighed towards y'all. We did a lot of pillows. You know how hard it is to find pillows in every room?
I know, I
Like
know.
so I was finding shit that was light that they didn't even know existed. I was at one point I think I was just unpacking. Like just like, it's the only shit I can take out of here, yo.
Oh my god.
That shit was crazy. I was like, I don't know what to do here, man. It's all none of this stuff makes
Ah,
sense. Oh man, but I got a workout that day. I'll tell
yeah.
you that. Real talk. I felt it. Oh man, let's get into the news, Sha.
Alrighty.
Kicking us off, Chiefs superfan, Chiefsaholic, has been sentenced to 32 years in the Oklahoma prison. That's right.
Oh my god. Hold
Yo.
on. What?
Yeah, we've spoken about him
We've
before when he
spoken
got caught.
about Chiefsaholic. I do remember that, but
Yo,
okay.
Chief Saholic was sentenced Monday in an Oklahoma courtroom to serve 32 years in a state prison for robbing a Tulsa area bank, a sentence that will be carried out after he finishes serving time in federal prison. Xavier Babudar, 30, appeared in the Tulsa courtroom and apologized to the court and to the victims of the December 2022 robbery of the Tulsa Teachers Credit Union. Whoa! In Bixby, Oklahoma. He expressed sincere remorse and took full responsibility for his actions. Babudar already was serving more than 17 years in federal prison for a string of 11 bank robberies across 7 states where he stole nearly $850,000. to finance his social media stardom. Schwab said the robberies were also the result of a gambling addiction.
Okay, so he gotta do his 17
Yep,
for the feds, and then he gotta do 32
a
for
quick
the state?
32, yo. Yo, real
Man.
talk. That's bananas. And he 30.
And he's 30.
Yeah,
So
that
wait,
is
hold on.
bananas.
Alright, so then if it's like 32, so that's 62, and then
79.
72, 70. Yeah, he could do that.
Yeah.
He could do that. Chiefs will hold off winning until then.
Tulsa. Oh, I mean, there's some hope here.
Mm.
Tulsa County District Judge ordered that Boudard's 32-year sentence run concurrently to his federal crime, which means after he is released from federal prison, he'll be transferred to state custody to serve his remaining 14. Oh, that's not
Alright,
that
he
bad.
got the concurrent. He got the
Yeah.
concurrent. Good for
Oh,
him.
you good, baby.
That's
Real talk.
still
You have
a
a second
long
life after
time.
this. I wonder, do you think he'll still have fans?
What do you mean?
Like,
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. Everyone will hear tell of the story of the Chiefsaholic wolf
yeah,
who went away for stealing money. Yeah, no, when he comes hobbling back out, he's gonna have fans.
real talk. I thought about this a bit.
Okay.
I feel like I don't know if it's for I'm happily married with kids, so I won't say currently,
Mhm.
but I could see like depending on how down and out I am, this might be worth the trade. Like if I'm
What?
having like if I got nothing going on in life,
Uh-huh.
and you tell me, yo, you're gonna have one crazy year. You gotta give me 30 in jail. But I'm gonna give
No.
you one crazy year where like you get all the memories of life. That dude, he could say he robbed 11 banks. He could say he became famous. His favorite team, he attended their games during the years they won the championship. Kansas
Okay.
City hadn't won before.
Right, right.
He legitimately became their most famous fan
Uh-huh.
during that championship run. And while the 30 years is ugly, not saying it's not,
Mhm.
but when he's done, book deal,
Book deal.
real talk. Because
Um,
he's not like he didn't do the crimes he did, borderline make him Robin Hoodish. He didn't really
well,
do,
no, 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 no. We don't know what he did with the money.
he bought tickets.
Nah, bruh.
He was
That's not
gambling and buying
he was
tickets.
gambling. So
Okay.
he had debts. So he's not good at gambling because he wasn't winning enough to pay off the debts. Also, after like the third bank, it's not exciting. You know what I mean? It's a job. That's why they call it a bank. It's a job. Still a job. I got to do a bank job. So, yeah, like after 3, it's like, all right, I got to get all the logistics right. In order to be successful,
Okay. I
you
mean, he
can't.
did make
It's
a legend.
yeah, it's not. They're not all going to be shootouts and freeze and all that kind of stuff. It's usually just you sliding a note to the teller and then them giving you however much it is, and then you just dipping out, taking off your clothes while you're running. Like that's not glamorous.
That's fair.
We've
Yeah, like
seen
by the fourth robbery, he's not even like handwriting the notes no more. They're like
right, yeah,
pre-typed.
they're photocopied.
They're like, this used to mean something to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, like, he's like, "No, I have to go to work and get money to pay for my things." Unfortunately, work for me is knocking off credit unions. So,
Hey,
I don't know, like, that yeah, it
I
doesn't
don't know. A
sound
part of
great.
me, I feel like America has lost its folk heroes, you know? We need a
He's
new
not
pay
a
those
folk
bills.
hero.
You know what I mean? What's the blue ox? Paul Bunyan and you know
Um,
what I mean? Chief
yeah.
Salt be the new version of that.
No, I don't think that he's a folk hero.
Okay.
I think he doesn't gamble well.
I think that's one and the same.
No, in that case, we got plenty of folk heroes.
Oh man.
Yeah.
In other news, dangerously high levels of arsenic and cadmium found in store-bought rice.
Oh, shit.
Whoa.
Wait. How store-bought are we talking?
Let's find um,
Mm.
samples of store-bought rice from more than 100 brands.
Wha
Yo,
Yeah,
purchased in the US contain dangerously high levels of arsenic and cadmium. Even
arsenic.
at low levels, both arsenic and cadmium have been linked to serious health harms, including diabetes, developmental delays, reproductive toxicity, and heart disease.
Also
Uh,
death.
yeah, you know what I mean? That's just all dying.
Yeah, so
Uh,
death.
yo, the organization, the Healthy Babies and Bright Futures, which is dedicated to reducing children's exposure to toxic chemicals, released in their report. Heavy metal contamination in young children is especially concerning, as early life exposures are associated with reduced IQ and a range of cognitive and behavioral problems. 1 in 4 samples of rice purchased from a grocery store and retail store across the US exceeded levels of inorganic arsenic set in 2021 by the US Food and Drug Administration for infant rice cereal. The FDA
Oh,
set a limit for inorganic arsenic in infant rice cereals of 100 parts per billion. Since then, we've seen levels in those cereals drop by 45%. But the FDA did not address inorganic arsenic levels in the rice families purchased to cook and serve. Yet it
okay.
turns out that for very young children, 0 to 2, rice is a more important source of inorganic arsenic than infant rice cereal.
Alright, okay. You're getting kinda sassy here. Alright,
Oh man.
here okay. Arsenic is a natural element found in soil, water, and air, with the inorganic form being the most toxic. Inorganic is a chemical term and has nothing to do with the method of farming. Yeah, right. Because you really want organic arsenic. You want,
You
the
want
healthiest arsenic you can get.
the pure.
Um, who why is it in the because it's in the soil, I guess?
I don't I don't know. My first things this is where like conspiracy theory hat starts coming out.
Great.
You know what I mean? Because when I think rice,
Mhm.
I think minorities.
Okay.
Being real, like everybody eat rice, I know.
Right.
But like in terms of affordable
Right.
carb,
Mhm.
the minorities are the group that I think do that most.
Right.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? I associate that with large groups of Asian cultures,
Mhm.
a lot of Latino cultures, a lot of Black culture.
Mhm.
Rice is a thing that like is cheap sustenance.
Right. Right.
And then shouts to CNN, thank you for not making me feel like I had a tinfoil hat. They pointed out, amongst all children, uh, rice makes up 7.5% of their diet. Amongst Hispanics is 14%, and amongst Asians is 30%.
Mm.
Like this felt almost targeted.
Right. Yeah, you think it
Like this felt like, yo, we losing too many jobs to them Asian kids because they keep beating us in the math tests.
let's make
Put
sure we
arsenic
don't
in the
rinse out
rice.
all the arsenic.
Put arsenic in the rice because it lowers their IQ.
Uh-huh.
They won't get into Stuyvesant. They stop getting into MIT.
Well, I don't think they're putting it in, I think it's just in there and they're not cleaning it well.
Okay.
I think that's how it's happening, but either way, um, I mean, you're probably I don't know if you're wrong, but I can see how you get there, especially with these numbers and just what we know and have seen.
Yo. And the history, you
And,
know.
and history, there's that. Um, oh my gosh. That's just I just never thought I think when I think of arsenic, it's just what people use to poison each other,
Yeah.
not like a byproduct of something that's grown. I guess I just never thought I guess I thought you just sprinkle arsenic on things like salt or you add it in cookies. It's like like iocane powder from The Princess Bride. You can't smell it or taste it or whatever, but it'll kill you. But
I as soon as I heard, I was like, oh, like this is becoming like Gotham or something. Like, this what's up.
right. Hmm.
Uh,
I also didn't know how much rice children eat.
yeah.
Huh. I
Real
guess
talk. Because it's you can make it so soft. It's like an easy
right.
transition food.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Especially if you like put the bean sauce on it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I know culturally, like I feel like it's the first food that I think of in my family that we transition kids to eating.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because you can make it soft, it's affordable.
Mhm.
It's the first food that you know that once they have it down, they can eat with most of your like aunts and uncles if they're like someone's babysitting, because
Right, just
everyone's
give them
gonna
some
make a
rice.
rice and bean. Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like it feels, I don't know, to me, like it's a thing that like it's the first step to like you eating regular people food.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I guess I don't know what babies be doing. So, I guess that is news to me, but, that's wild. Alright.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all, let's try to keep the arsenic out of the if we can keep the lead out the paint and the arsenic out of the rice, that would be real helpful.
Real talk. Ain't that
Yeah.
crazy of a concept?
No, no.
in in other news, Atlanta among cities hardest hit by gentrification and black displacement.
Oh, lord.
That's right. A new report from the National Community Reinvestment Coalition shows that Atlanta has the second highest number of neighborhoods that flipped from majority black to majority white between 1980 and 2022.
Oof.
Gentrification led to the displacement of an estimated 22,000 black residents in Atlanta, with neighborhoods like Old Fourth Ward, East Atlanta, and Kirkwood among the most affected.
Mm.
Atlanta experienced the most intense gentrification in the United States between 2000 and 2012, driven by rising incomes, home values, and educational attainment in urban neighborhoods.
Wow. Hey, look, let me tell you something. Um, I feel like I know people I always known people who've lived in these neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Yup. This all tracks. Um, the neighborhood that I lived in before I moved to New York, I was kind of between I'm just gonna, lay out the neighborhood names. I was kind of between West End and Oakland City.
Okay.
So, the West End area is where, the black colleges are.
Okay.
So, uh, yeah, and I in the area, I could see where, gentrification was trying. You know what I mean? I'd see a couple of, like, just a couple of white people just giving it a shot, and then I'd see them leave because they were like, "No, we can't hang." And I'm like, "Dang, West End is still okay. Interesting." Like, wow, holding strong, like, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Holding holding this strong when I see what's happening to the rest of the city. And then I moved, and then I started seeing, like, what houses were going for in the West End, and I'm like, "Ah, shit." They
Yeah.
yeah, it happened. It happened for sure.
Real talk.
And, yeah, it's been encroaching. It's so funny, um because so many I think a lot of black people move there because it's kinda like, when DC was DC called Chocolate City?
I want to say yes.
And so that's played very heavily into how people view Washington, DC.
Right.
Um, and then how they've also viewed Atlanta. And then when you get there, those the neighborhoods where we would have been were not really there anymore.
Right.
And, and you're just like, "Oh, wow, I thought this was like a chocolate city of the South." And it's like, "Yeah, but they really moved out a lot of the chocolate. Chocolate can't afford it anymore." Chocolate's on the outskirts now. Um, or just, like, not in neighborhoods. It's
Right.
still through, it's swirling through, but the neighborhoods are not, like, strongholds like they were.
Right.
And that's interesting. It's interesting to see that, be the case. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't, yeah, it's different. It's different. Um, so I who knows? I mean, their next mayor may be a white person, and I can't think of the last
Yo,
when was the last time there was a white mayor of Atlanta? I don't know, but I from what I'm reading, it's like, yeah, well, it's looking that way.
it's a pivot.
It's a pivot. So, I mean, Atlanta, thanks to Sherman, Atlanta just burns itself down and reinvents itself all the time. So, right now they're trying to I don't know what's going on, honestly. It's when I go, I am con confused
Mm,
because the Atlanta I know is not there, and of course that's going to happen as you get older. It's whatevs, but and there are pockets where I see, okay, here's maybe where the new parts the new version of what I know, maybe that's where it'll come in or whatever, but, for the most part, Atlanta felt to me recently like it's nothing but breweries held together by murals. Just murals of people on the side of breweries, and now my understanding is even the breweries are closing down. So I'm like, "Well,
yo.
shit." If we're losing the breweries, what are we gonna do? We just put all these breweries in these big empty buildings that had
Yeah,
nothing in them before, and now you done thrown and now those are closing? What what will be the next thing?
yeah.
And, I think there'll be food halls. I think they're putting a lot of food halls in, um, and I'm just like, it's all the everything just feels ultimately everything's going corporate. Like that's what it
Right.
is. And that's happening to a lot of cities. That's happening to New York. Everything's going corporate. Everything new that's built is looks like a shiny shoebox. And uh, all things that are interesting are pushed out or priced out. And so um it's hard to find a city. I mean, cuz look, the black migration from New York has been notable as well.
Mhm.
Like, I've read articles about that. I don't know, man. Where are we
Yeah.
going? We're all
I don't
going
know.
to Charlotte? But even Charlotte's, I'm sure, going through it. Like, I don't where are we going?
Real talk. I've been house shopping in Durham. That's where I'm
Yeah.
at. It's only just because I'm looking at places I could afford,
Mhm.
that are near things. Baltimore, I've looked at a lot.
Okay.
It's
Alright.
still affordable. It still has big city amenities.
Mhm.
I have access to a bigger city nearby. Um, I know New York has been getting teased a lot about this of late because there's been like a string of like IG social media posts about women in the West Village that have been getting a lot of traction, and
Oh,
it's
right.
like it shows the trend is essentially for the listeners, it'll show like 20 to 30-year-old women who are not New Yorkers,
Mhm.
and they're living a very specific version of New York life that isn't New York anymore.
Yeah,
um
they're having their Sex and the City moments.
right, yeah, and they're doing it, and like they're showing it as if this is what New York is,
Mhm.
and it's an example of what the West Village has become and what New York can be, and to New Yorkers it's scary. Just because none of it is the New York that we grew up experiencing culturally. It's not the same stuff. The things that they're excited about weirdly feel nothing like New York to me. um
True. I will say to that end, though, this happens all the time.
yeah,
This happened in Williamsburg. Like, when I moved here, Williamsburg was that, and
yeah.
then it became now it is, like, corporate. Like, people are like, "God, Williamsburg isn't the same like it used to be," and I'm like, "What did it used to be? Should I ask the families that were here that got priced out when for it to be what it used to be?" Like,
Yeah,
like, it's yeah, there's so but you also, in a weird way, you kinda need those people. You kinda need
yeah.
these young women in their 20s to come to New York and live these, to them, wild experiences, and then because it feeds the story, the mythos of New York City,
Right.
right? It feeds into that, which gets more people wanting to come to New York, and, it is a cycle because yes, then they do write some bl a post somewhere like, "I have to leave. I found" you just find the dude that you're willing to have kids with, and then you guys move somewhere else,
Yeah.
and so you do need that kind of cycle, um, but yeah, like, for, like, the I guess maybe the media of it all and the pop culture-ness of it all, you kinda need these girls to come through and swing their hair around and have expensive purses and, 6 girls sharing a one crème brûlée or whatever the fuck that it is that they're doing out there, um, eating s eating smash burgers and lettuce wraps or whatever the fuck it is that's happening.
Hey, and like there's parts of it that like I genuinely like appreciate it culturally in some ways. Like
Mhm.
there's amenities that come with it. Like I like Starbucks. I like being like I like a ice mocha.
Mhm.
I don't need it often, but like once every 2 weeks, yeah, that shit hit.
Right.
Also, as someone that like grew up here and like it's such a big part of my identity. I also there's a weird balancing act of like I want my kids to be tough, but I don't want them to actually go through anything. Like,
Right. Yeah.
like real
Yeah.
shit. If every single video I see where they're teasing these young ladies, if that's all my daughter did, I would be through the roof. Real talk, like yeah, a word, like what you do today? You had brunch with your homegirls, and then you know what I mean? Like, yeah, sounds that would
Great.
make me ecstatic as the father. Like
Right.
that's the New York you're living.
Mhm.
Fantastic. You know what I mean? So like I can't sit here and like critique it as if like I don't want those things. I do think we're doing a slightly better job of balancing it, like in the sense that there's still like I think Bushwick, I think, is like kind of like my dream of what gentrification should end up as, where like there's people from outside come in. There's new amenities that come in. Prices go up a bit, admittedly,
Mhm.
maybe more than a bit, but they reflect these new changes. But in turn, there's still a lot of old Bushwick there. There is
Right.
still like I still see not to the extent that it was before,
Mhm.
but more than any other part of Brooklyn that went through gentrification. I
True.
still see parts of Bushwick when I walk through Bushwick.
But
So yeah,
again,
like
as I mentioned last week, there's a Chipotle on Broadway. Still haven't been, still working through those issues.
real talk,
Not my neighborhood. I mean, it's my neighborhood in that I've lived here for, like, I don't know, 12 years or whatever, but it's still
real
like,
talk.
"What?"
And real talk shot, when you said that, I was like, all right, there's a line. All right, we
Yeah,
here. Real
yeah,
talk. That's the line right there.
that's the line.
Yeah,
Um, but it remains to be seen how long will it take for these shiny buildings to fill up with these people, to come out and to, like, really change stuff. You
right.
know what I mean? Like, I imagine, the West Village has already been going through, uh, businesses closing because, the the owners of the buildings are pricing out, like, the businesses. That was happening when I first got here, like, 12 years ago. So
Real
they were
talk.
priming it for what we have now.
Yeah,
So, like, it takes a while, but this happening in the West Village, I'm like, yeah, because from my understanding is all of the interesting things about the West Village were having to shut down over a
yeah.
decade ago because they couldn't afford it. So now here are the people who can afford to be in this little playground.
Real talk. I've been
Yeah.
trying to figure out how do you get a shape up in the West Village?
You don't.
You you you
Who's there that needs a shape up?
yeah, like if you ever had that emergency, you better leave that part of the city.
Yeah. I mean, that the good thing is that you can walk a few blocks and be elsewhere, but and I mean, I don't know where under 14th you're gonna find a shape up. Like, where are shape ups? Who's doing I don't know. You
Real
sh
talk.
Yeah, you gotta you'll there's certainly on some side street, there's some basement barber shop, right?
Yeah,
I feel
there
like
has
I
to
see
be.
a few, like, on the east, like, Lower East Side.
Yeah, and they're
Yeah.
all doing like different hustles to make it work. Like they're like a barber shop during the day, and then they're like a comedy club at night, and they're like a
Yes.
tattoo parlor on the weekend. Like they got 5 businesses out of that place, yo, just to make it
Yeah.
work. I get it. Good luck. Uh Atlanta, I hope y'all enjoy the Starbucks that y'all getting.
Oh, we had them. Oh, we've been had them. That's not the problem. The problem is the interesting things closing,
Yeah.
maybe, or the mix of people. How is the mix still? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
You need it. That's what makes it dope.
when you grow up in it, you understand each other. When you just show up, you don't really know how to work it. And I mean
Yeah.
that's no matter the so when black folks are moving to Atlanta, they have a view. When I tell someone I grew up in Atlanta, what they say to me about what they know about Atlanta is so only over the past 15 years,
Right.
where they're just like, "Ah, yeah, housewives, strip clubs." And I'm like, "I mean, I give you strip clubs, but housewives?" You know what I mean? Like, there's so much, like, we're just gonna skip the whole Dungeon family part?
Real talk. Watch
Like
for the hook, baby. Come
yeah,
on.
like, yeah, there were, so many interesting things and, like, I don't know. So and then the people that are moving in now, they're probably coming to work on shows, so that's like a whole other, like television or movies and things. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, so who we gotta have people who are there to, like, talk about what came before.
Right.
And that is, I don't know if that's because of my age or whatever, but I'm seeing the people that I grew with and hung with doing interesting things out in the suburbs, um, doing interesting things that are being noticed as like, oh, here's cool stuff, and I see who's behind it, and I'm like, oh, of course it's cool stuff. It's so and so and that dude. You know
Hell
what I mean?
yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so you can grow with it, and that's where I see pockets of like, okay, interesting stuff's coming. But for the city itself, man, it is. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know for the inside part of the city. The outside, we get it, but
Okay.
yeah, it's basically it's you grew up in the suburbs and you drove into Atlanta to do cool shit, and now that part's been cleaned up. So now you're older, so you're buying property in the suburb that you grew up in, and it seems wild.
Yeah. Now I feel that.
Yeah,
I also think like in this particular article, it's a black thing because Atlanta is a has been a black city, but
right,
gentrification happens in all types of cultures.
right.
Like somewhere where I've a city that I've enjoyed that I've noticed this in that
Mhm.
I don't know that isn't black is Portland, Maine, where
Okay.
like it's on the East Coast. A ton of people that are rich New Yorkers and rich from other cities.
Mhm.
They saw this dope, affordable city on the East Coast that, while during the wintertime gets bombed with snow, summertime they have a really affordable boardwalk,
Mhm.
a beach, cheap seafood that they can't get in the city for less than like a quarter of this, whatever. So like they just bought up all the property, and like
Mm.
people that are from Portland are now like living in the outskirts and having to drive into Portland, you know what I mean, to get like
Right.
they lobster. It happens
And
everywhere.
yeah, it happens everywhere. And wait, Portland, Maine, is big Somali um population, or am I making that up?
That I don't know.
There's something, I don't know. There's something about I feel like that there are a lot of Somali like Somali refugees ended up in Portland, Maine, but I might be getting a city confused. But
I
there's
felt like that
somewhere
was like
in
Boise.
maybe there's somewhere in New England for sure. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that's also happening in Boise, honestly.
Real talk. We out here, yo. Protect your hoods is all we saying, yo.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Balance it out. Finally, speaking of change,
Uh-oh.
HBO is back, baby. That's right.
Oh, ha!
You know what I mean? Warner Brothers walks back the rebrand of Max streaming service. Executives at Warner Brothers Discovery, the vast media conglomerate, had a bright idea to turbocharge the growth of its streaming service in 2023, rebranding its famous streaming service HBO, home to everything from The Sopranos, Game of Thrones, The Last of Us, etc., from HBO Max to just Max. The move was made because HBO was not the sort of place parents would most eagerly drop off their kids, said the head of streaming, JB Perrette. Fast forward 2 years, and on Wednesday, the executives at the same company unveiled the new bright idea: rebrand the service from Max to HBO Max. That's right. They are back. They realized that that was a stupid idea.
You know what? Here's what here's the thing. Um, so this guy Zaslav, he's just trying to recoup, right?
Mhm.
He's just trying to make his money. And I mean, I believe the channel is still, or the service or whatever you want to call it, it's still profitable, but that's probably because of all the tax write-offs, i.e., projects that got canceled and scrapped, and they write those off, and
Right.
that's kind of how it made its money. But that dude, it's wild that he's in charge. That he's been in charge of like Discovery channels, so like Discovery Channel, HGTV, Nat Geo, I think, all of these channels, and he was in charge of those before that bought out, you know, Warner Brothers and HBO. To know to own a channel and to not understand the importance of the branding of what you've just bought is what was so shocking to me,
Yeah.
because he was just saying stuff like, I mean, no one cares about the HBO part, and that's insane.
Yeah.
To just be like, they'll pay no matter what. You don't need the HBO. And I'm like, no, if people are paying for HBO, they want you to know that they are paying for HBO, because
Hell
that
yeah.
means that's a whole status thing. So to not even understand like the psychology behind it, get out of here.
Yo, and even on the artist end of it,
Mhm.
same idea. It felt like prestige when, like, oh, I got a special on HBO.
Right.
My show is on HBO. I got I sold the pilot to HBO.
Right.
It meant more.
Yes.
You literally like killed that. Nobody been bragging about putting something up on Max.
No.
It it just
Because
it
it's
isn't
like,
a thing.
what's Max? No, HBO Max. I mean, like, I feel like people would say HBO Max begrudgingly,
Hmm.
HBO with pride, and I think that's the case even when it switched to Max, people were still like, "HBO Max." I never just said Max.
Yeah, it never felt right. It felt
No.
like I'm calling somebody.
Right, yeah, I
I don't
mean,
like it.
I was like, "HBO Max is fine," because when I first signed up for it, I think I signed up for HBO Now or
Right.
whatever, and I'm like, I mean, it's just HBO, but I can watch it now. You know what I mean? So that still feels like HBO, and I'm a
Yeah.
special person who can afford it. Like, that's what it felt like. So to just bungle that so badly and to be so hard-headed about it. Um, I've heard that that th the executive who wanted to change it to Max, they did all kinds of, you can't make a move without a focus group, right? So that there are all kinds of, like, studies and shit, and they did all the research, and they were like, "Yeah, people like the HBO part." And the exec was still like, "I don't care. Change it
Yo,
to Max." And now look at us. It's
exactly.
but here's the thing that I am really upset about. If it's back to HBO Max, it's not ideal, but it's fine. It's better. It's fine.
Mhm.
They changed the colors. So,
Yeah.
HBO now, it had a nice purpley, like, fluid a nice gender fluid work going on there color-wise, and it really, like, stood out. And then it just went to, like, blue-ish, a purpley bluish, and then just straight up plain bright blue. And
Yeah.
I already hated that bright blue on Paramount Plus. It looked flat. There was nothing exciting about it. It's just a bright blue. It drove me insane, and I was just like, "Man, you had really good colors that no one else was doing." Now you have a color that literally someone else is the exact same shade, and now they've gone to, like, a black color,
Yeah.
but the black is murky. It's not like a strong black color like HBO used to be. HBO used to be white letters on black, and now it's
Yeah.
like a weird kind of um, like dirt. It's dirty. It looks like
Mm.
dirty water that if you were to stir it, like there's sediment in the bottom of a bucket of water.
Real
And
talk.
if
You
you
cleaning your
stir it,
paintbrush.
yeah, and then yes, cleaning a paintbrush and it just swirls and it's grimy and gritty. And then they're like, "Hey, look who's back." And I'm like, "Yuck." This looks like you shat all over it and then you're just trying to brush it off and you're like, "But HBO part's back, huh?" Man, listen to the
Terrible.
people. Listen to the people.
If you would like to listen to the people,
Listen to the people.
that's all you gotta do, baby. You know what I mean? Join our 30 Soft. Okay. let us get final say when you decide to change channel names.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just hit us up. We're good for branding. All you gotta do is like, subscribe to the show, baby. If you are Apple or Spotify listener, we appreciate your ratings. 4 stars. You was on board with this Max nonsense. Come on, B. Disappointing.
Boo.
Real talk. 5 stars. You ain't even an HBO Max guy. It should just be HBO. I
Right.
agree. Real talk. I don't know what gave him the idea to name it after the thing that all it should have been was like a descriptor of the thing, not the name itself.
You
I
know
like
what?
it.
I heard that it was supposed to be like a throwback because HBO owned Cinemax.
Right.
And so they were like, "Oh, the Max like Cinemax." What did I tell you? No one has thought about Cinemax literally since '93.
Yeah.
So why even bring it up? And also, I don't think that's what that guy thought. I think he just didn't want to use Plus like everybody else has. So he didn't want it to be HBO Plus. He wanted to be HBO Max. And what makes it Max is, I don't know, HGTV. The Property Brothers don't make anything at a maximum.
Real talk.
I'm gonna go on record as saying the Property Brothers don't make anything to the max.
HBO still the same.
Still the same.
That's the branding right there. HBO equal. You know what I mean?
I mean, at this point, HBO equal Netflix. Half of their shows end up over there anyway.
Real talk.
Like,
Yo, Netflix got one half, Hulu got the other half. I don't even know what y'all doing.
I know.
I don't know what y'all bringing to the game anymore. I don't have HBO. I see all HBO. I am exclusively watching HBO shows, not with HBO.
Well, I'm still watching it, and if you are just handing out specials, I'm here. I'm
Real
available.
talk. Hit me up.
Yeah.
I changed my whole shit. I'm Pro Max tomorrow.
Absolutely. I'll put on
Real
one of your
talk.
dirty water shirts.
Real talk. I should have been on that Latino shit y'all had for a while there. You know what I mean?
Oh, right.
Entre nos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Real talk. If you have any articles you want us to cover, please DM us directly on Twitter and Instagram at Silky Jumbo or at Gastor Almonte. Shout out to Sweet to Aaron Anderson, Sean Anthony, Lauren McDaniel, and Elise Denmark. With all that said, I am about to start my transformation on 30 Soft.
Wow.
Gastor Almonte. A lot of stretching, a lot of hoodies.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? With the soon-to-be billionaire founder of 30 Soft. That's right, Shalewa Sharpe.
I'll take that. I'll claim it.
Amen.
Absolutely. Everybody else seems to be able to get you in a hoodie. I should be able to get you in a hoodie. Applesauce also. I had 2 little things of applesauce yesterday, and I was like, "Oh, we're going soft."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Hoodies and applesauce? Give me my money now.
Yo. Shalewa Sharpe's next album, Hoodies and Applesauce. Coming soon. That's fire. I don't care what you say. That's heat.
I'm writing it down.
Oh, man. Catch y'all next time. Peace.